Hello, this is Hellsenstrat. Welcome back to this play by email Vs Jochen Combat, and I'll be watching the combat replay for December 24th, 1941, and go over our strategy and orders after that. I apologize, this is coming out a little late because I had recorded this video, and then I did the turn, sent it to Jochen last night, and unfortunately, when I went to edit the video, I noticed that my mic wasn't working, so no audio. So we're going to redo this, and hopefully we'll get caught up. Now, overall, we're expecting a quiet turn, and it was pretty quiet. Next few turns and week is going to be kind of exciting because that's when we're going to go with our invasion of Palembang, the invasion of Java, and probably catch the forces in Nanyang for another attack and start working on China. All right, Treasury Island switch over to us for free. Some of our fast task forces start taking other little bases like Hansa Bay, Sangi here in Eastern DEI. Now we're just taking most of these dot bases just to get them out of the way, and also if we ever want to make. Now we do find Jochen's kind of sneaky there. Put a nice little minefield east of Singapore that one of our destroyers locates, and luckily we didn't take any hits. So now that we know what's there, we will clear it out, and nobody should get hit. Alright, so offloading at Sangi here, offloading at Sial, offloading at Galea, offloading at Lunga, unloading. All right, moving into the air phase, AM. All right, so he's got a. Let's see, our APT was located at SIL, so he's got detection on that. These are mostly fake reports from the Kitty Pattaya aircraft, and Long Island's detected. He does have some noticing some of our ships at Singapore. So, right. Sweep over Nanyang. He's still yet to put up a fighter presence. All right. So we will be bombing Bataan here. Again, we're getting slowly, but we're only doing bombing one unit, so we are keeping it damaged enough where it's not building forts. But unfortunately, Clark, with all his engineers and all that there, has repaired all its damage, so we have to go back to bombing Clark. Alright, so let's bombing the retreating forces out of Nanyang to slow them down and do as much damage as we can as they're in clear terrain. We get 113 casualties, 1 destroyed squad, done combat, 8, and these don't really matter as much unless we can get an attack in. 67 more Bettys coming in. 218, 1 engineer squad destroyed, which is nice, and a bunch of disablements. Another sweep. Alright, so we bombed the airfields at a low star, and we get pretty good strike here. I think we do about 65 runway hits and 15 airbase hits, so that should keep that shut down. They'll switch over to ground attack this turn. I think our division will get there next turn, I believe. We'll test out the defenses. Alright, Sally's. Didn't do much damage, sorry. Fast forwarding it, 255, another non-combat destroyed. I think that last one only got like 14 casualties. I don't know why. Bombing the Lilies here. This is the Lusao War area that retreats from here. Just trying to do as much damage as we can. Trying to kill these before they get up and close off our railroad line here. So 21, we get 3 non-combat squads destroyed. So we are starting to inflict them. I'm hoping these die to attrition in our bombing rates. Alright, we'll fast forward it through the recon. He does snoop one of my invasion task force finally over by the mini Kadipatai. Alright, so we're bombing these guys to slow these guys down because now that they are in terrain we would like to attack them in. We were trying to slow them down so we can catch them up with our northern attack. 81 casualties, nothing destroyed though. 41 casualties, another non-combat destroyed. Funny part is I had to destroy 8 of those squads to get 1 point. So, like all our bombing, 200 bombers this turn, I doubt we even got a single point. We probably actually lost points if we take any significant ops losses. Alright, so we do land at Ternate. And that's it. Alright, so we'll move into land combat phase here. Take a bunch of undefended territory. We'll take Chusheng, nobody's home. So these guys will now move down to Wenchao to start the siege there. We'll take Taoxia. Now Taoxia is going to become very important for us. And I'll show you all why once we go over our orders and strategy here. We'll take Hansa Bay. And that's pretty much it for this turn. Like I said, Singapore expands fortification size 1. Starting next turn, things will start be getting interesting. Alright, fast forwarded through here. Alright, so our orders for the turn. None of these guys are detected. They're hanging out. We'll probably leave these guys around Los Angeles and hang out for maybe another week. I think we're going to give it to the new year. If we haven't seen anything come out, we'll probably pull off 1 or 2 of these guys and we'll encircle San Francisco, how we're doing here, and we'll leave like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and a mini surrounding. No sight of the Lexington this turn. We are pulling these guys farther south to interdict the... We're trying to interdict New Zealand. I figure that's where he's going. So these guys will take off of Wellington, and this guy will go off Auckland. And then we have a few more subs heading that way to reinforce. These guys don't have the fuel for it, so they will kind of take off like Sydney and a little bit north here if he's going to Melbourne. We already do have 1 sub off of Melbourne if he comes in this way. We'll have a couple off Sydney and 1 off Brisbane. But I really believe he's going to go, if he's going anywhere, he's going down to New Zealand. Because he knows the Kiripitai is in the area. So you figure he's going to go way south. Speaking of Kiripitai, they refueled this turn. It doesn't show it here, but they went ahead and readjusted their fuel because these destroyers were getting kind of low. And so they're not going to do much this turn. They might move 1 hex. These guys are also looking pretty low on fuel. So they might move to here. We do have our oilers on the way with fuel. So they'll get somewhere right around here. Our plan is to slowly sneak down through here. So we'll kind of do like another 8 here next turn. Or the turn after. And then another 8. We'll try to get within striking range of the lanes between Fiji, Pago Pago, the Tonga Islands, and we're really just testing his air search. I don't really want to. I don't have the fuel for a full speed run, and I don't want to waste a full speed run on intelligence that we don't, know anything for sure. 4977. That's going to be, I believe, somewhere up in here, probably here. No, wait a minute. Ooh. Got here 4977. Okay, so that's just this guy. No, nothing important. And then 70 and 115. That's going to be also somewhere in this area. 70, 115. So we're picking up radio chatter for the east of Dili, which is interesting. So obviously nothing useful to us. He's got heavy volume detected at Sydney. Now this is interesting. So he's still using Sydney as a heavy port. So what we might do is, as we test the air search around here. We might, see what we get in, pull in, get refueled, and we might make a dash for Sydney. That's gonna. So you figure out here. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we'd have to get to here undetected. So we might pull back, come back through here, and try to make a sneak back in through here, and then do a full speed run and do a port strike on Sydney. So we'll think about it. We'll have to see how the field goes. Talsia. Now the reason I said this is going to be important, so this air capacity is 5. So I'm going to stick a air fleet here. Now the air fleet gives us command radius of 5, which means anything within airfield within 5 they can supply torpedoes to. Now the reason we want to do this is because this is on the backside of New Britain, so it means it's hard for them to get to it to bombard. Rabaul, is a straight shot. They can get in range, they can bombard it. They'd have to go through Rabaul to bombard here, go through here to bombard here. So Rabaul would be in range. More importantly, Nadzab over here, which has an air capacity of 6, is in range, and they can't bombard here. So we'd have 1, 2, 3. We can build up Rambuto here to 4. That's within 5. Oh, actually, that's 6. So I lied. So I can't use Rambuto. Kavieng is also, well, hold on. That's 6 from there. No, I believe I'm right. So 4 here. So we got, and then 5 here. So we can build up Rambuto, Talsi, Kavieng, Rabaul, and Nadzab. Now that's going to be my air flotillas down here. This is my air defense here. I'd like to be able to fly torpedoes out of those and bombers. We can put them in. This cannot be bombarded. This can't be bombarded. Rambuto, he has to come in from behind, but they can move like that on the second strike. We can kind of move back. Kavieng's kind of hard to bombard unless you come in through here. And anything on the way into these bases, they can make strikes. So that's what our air defense of New Britain is going to be. Is Halcyon. So that's going to be loading up from Takao. We'll be moving the 11th Air Fleet here down there. So, but we'll build up Rabaul's airfield to 4. We'll start building up here. We'll put some engineers here. We'll get these guys built up next, and then I'll move and build these up, and then Kavieng and Rambuto second. We're also going to move a couple of engineers down to Recta Bay. This would be our forward fighting base, because this again is hard to bombard, because at least from the west, you have to go all the way around the islands to come in from the north side to bombard this, which means it's a lot harder to sneak into. Tulagi is easier to bombard, and then it's only a 4, so this is easy to bombard, but this can build up to 3, 4 if we spend the prices on it. So, but this will be our kind of forward base, makes it hard to get to. But we'll put in Kates in single engine bombers. They're not that. Meanwhile, over here, so we didn't get a strike. These guys are heading back. We're going to load up all our invasion forces for Makassar, Kendari, Ambon, and Kopang. And that's going to take probably about a week to get all those guys together and load them up. We'll take, hopefully, Ternate this turn. Meanwhile, the reason that's going is because our invasion of Palembang will be going in this turn. Now, we got one covering force of a light cruiser and some destroyers. We got a couple of destroyers to turn, but more importantly, we're going to full speed these DMs. I did mess up and didn't put these guys on main station, so they started to head back to CRB, but luckily, at a full speed, they're still within range and they can get there this turn. We'll just take these 2 lower fuel guys off. They will head this way to get rid of this minefield that he snuck in east of Singapore. So these 2 AMCs, those 2 DMSs will go cover that. We'll land in Palembang this turn. The mini Kiribitai and the other invasion force, amphibious forces, are heading this way, setting up for the invasion of Java. That should be next turn. We'll probably drop off 2 divisions at Merak, and then proceed to Batavia with those guys. We'll lob off a division and an airfield unit at Kojiti. Those guys will be to take Bandit Egg and then open the rail line. And then we'll head south and drop 2 divisions off to Jedpo or Semarang or to Jedpo. I haven't decided. Maybe Semarang, and then we can just take all this on the way to Sorbeja. And then once I take Sorbeja, that will clear these up. Once we get Batavia and Sorbeja and Palembang, I'll be happy. We'll start taking the northern Borneo bases in oil. And then we'll start setting up for Balikpapan and Tarakan. Now, I'll probably drop off about 3 naval guards apiece for these. We'll drop them off of Samarinda, we'll drop them at Trandashar, and they'll do the shock attack across the river, which will hurt, but it's better than excuse me. Better than dealing with guns at Tarakan or Balikpapan. Ambon, you don't have much of a choice, so we'll have to deal with that. We'll do battleship support with that, but I don't want a battleship bombard our oil fields here. Once we land at Palembang, we'll start working on taking all the dot bases. We'll take Jajabi. Let's get this oil under control. Ooh, moving east. Sneaky little bastard. Yeah, I got some bombers in that heading this way. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay. He's either pulling forces out or dropping forces in. If he's dropping forces in, that would actually be great for me. I believe these guys are 1 turn out. Yep. So we will get our first attack in the Lestar in the next couple turns. He has completely abandoned Rangoon, pretty much. He's only got 9 units. Those are probably just airfield units and small units. He's going for a Fortress Britannia Lashio, probably, maybe in China. So we will move our subs out. I don't think he's going to supply Rangoon. So most of our subs will be heading to cover Colombo. A longer range sub will probably put off like Bombay. And then hopefully we'll get some expansions over here. We did move 2 of our 0 units out of Bangkok. We moved 1 to China because we'll get some more fighters over there. And then we're going to move 1 to cover the invasions of the Celebs and put some Palembang. We get some 0s for support over that. We are landing the 38th Division. They should be completely unloaded this turn, and the rest of the engineering units should be unloaded. Once those guys get in, we'll go ahead and move into Clark Field. We're about a week away for the garrison of Manila, where we receive the garrison unit we're going to use, and we'll drop them off and move them into Manila. Meanwhile, these guys that are dropping these guys are going to pick up a bunch of these engineering units, and we're going to move more engineers to the south. Over in China, like I said, we took Chusane. These guys should be moving into position here. And we'll siege Wenchao, basically, is what we're working on. Pulling some units back here. He might be doing a southern attack, which is fine with me if he wants to do that. I got 800 AV here in Canton. So if he wants to attack 800 AV into Fort Forest, I believe, right? No, we might want to start building forts in Canton. Yeah, I might go ahead and start building forts in Canton. It is urban. Oh, that's urban heavy. That's ×4. Yeah, if he wants to attack in Kent, he's more than welcome to. Meanwhile, over here, I did not do an attack, even though he pulled off about 100,000 troops. He still has about 100,000 troops here. And I just don't feel we have the enough AV here to go into a plate. While it's clear terrain, he should have forts in there. But these 5 divisions should reach their next turn. If he's still there with our bombardment, we'll put in an attack next turn. I believe this tank regiment will also be there next turn. Independent Mixed Brigade. So that's going to add probably, what, 18? About another 2,000, 3,000 AV there. So hopefully that will go well. And we'll get an attack and do some more damage. We'll send about 1,200 AV worth to tie these guys down with bombardments and artillery. The rest of the forces are going to make for Ankang and try to race to the mountains here so we can cut these guys off. We're trying to slow these guys down so we can get these guys in to do an attack here in this rough or these clear terrain. We got a decent amount of armor. We got about 1,300 AV here, about 2,000 AV here moving this way. We'll do about 1,200 AV moving this way and another 2,000 AV moving this way. So all in all, our northern attack has 5,000 AV. That's about the most I can get out of China until I either get the points to buy out more divisions from Korea and Manchukuo, or we get reinforcements, which I believe, let me go ahead and look at our ground reinforcement schedule here. Days to arrival, the 7th Independent Guard Unit, that's going to Manila. 5th Amphibious Brigade will probably take Mindanao. And we're looking at 14 Guard, that's going to be part of the 5th. Here's our start reinforcements. So these 497 or these 5 brigades that we get in China will add up to about another 5-6 divisions worth of troops. Now most of them are going to be type C, so they're not going to be that good, but it does give us some extra AV firepower against light Chinese units. We'll do our best. And the last thing we're going to go over and take a look at is probably going to be our R&D. Go ahead and take a look at this, guys. So we got what, a couple 8s, 7, couple 6s. Kind of worried we only got the couple. These guys are still on 3 on these roofs. We really need to get these guys to 30 before April, which we still have 3 months. It's just very telling. I'm just worried we won't get there, and anything that doesn't get to 30 then slows down quite a bit more. As you can tell, we got doing decent on some of these Jills, but for 43, that's not bad. I'll take that. These Judys are again 43. We're doing decent on. Oscars are doing decent for an 842. I mean, we got 3, 4, 3. This for 642, we're doing good, decent. I'm thinking. So the rest of them are doing okay. It's for some reason I feel really bad. Like this Frank has 5 and it's a 44. It's like, how the hell can I not get my roofs up to higher? So R&D is looking decent for the initial run. Once we get our up to the A6 MR, we'll switch some of these over to Grace. I'm a very big proponent of the Grace. I want to get that researched, so we'll be spending supply on that. Also, we will switch over to some more into Peggy. We would like to get a lot more Peggy research. Rex, we'll probably just leave 1 on there, and once it gets to 30, we're not going to put any into researching it. It's literally just going to be as it comes. We'll try to do some more into Francis as well. So these are the ones that we will switch over to and get more of. I believe the Judy one, we might get that. We're going to get this up to Judy 4 before we can get to the Grace, because the Judy 4 gives us 800 kilogram bombs, and that will pierce tanks. Vehicles, we'll probably expand this a little bit more. We're at 231. As you can tell, we don't have many vehicle points. I want to get this up to about 300, so we'll be spending some more supply on vehicles. Our armament's still holding decent, so I'm okay with this. Navy system 18. I'm going to leave it at 1500. That's all we're going to get. Merchant, we'll build them as we go. Repair yards, we did expand some repair yards. We got 42 because I'm not going to repair the repair yard at Hong Kong. We did expand Saigon just a little bit. We expanded it up to, I believe it was 20, so it can handle heavy cruisers. Obviously, Singapore, we'll go ahead and fix up Singapore to 50. So where else was our repair yards that was damaged? Nagasaki, will go ahead and fix that up. It starts off that way. Manila, we don't have any supply there, do we? Oh, we do have supply there. Oops, I need to turn those off. Yeah, yeah, we'll turn that off. Oh, Manila, maybe we will repair that. I guess there's another heavy cruiser area that we can kind of, in this area, that we can split out. And it will be pretty protected. Hong Kong is pretty far out. I don't like that it could be bombed from China, so I never repair that one. That's it. That's going to be it for today. So I will get this video out, and hopefully we will have another turn within a day or two. Catch you guys.